A pleasant afternoon to you on OGTV 25 UHF, the People's Telly. This is Hot Seat on the People's Telly, and we thank you for joining us on yet another edition of that personality discussion program. My name is Adeshino Anidube. Today we have another distinguished Nigerian as our guest. Our guest is the chairman of the Community Development Council, CDC, in Ogun State, Chief Isaiah Olatokunbo Akinsonwon. Chief Akinsonwon, it's nice to have you on this program.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be here.
Chief Isaiah Olatokunbo Akinsonwon was born on the 21st day of March 1947. He hails from Ado-Duota local government area of Ogun State. He attended All Saints Primary School at Dodo, St. Timothy College, Yaba, Lagos, but left there in 1963 for Igomode Grammar School, Ota, and this was between 1964 and 1966. Our guest on the program today worked with P&T between 1967 and 1971 as postal officer, and he later attended evening school at the Federal School of Science, Oniko, Lagos. In 1971, he then left Nigeria to the United States for further studies. Chief Isaiah Olatokunbo Akinsonwon worked as a teacher between 1977 and 1980. Then he came to the Ogun State Teaching Service and retired eventually as a principal in the Ogun State Teaching Service Commission in 2007 after attaining the statutory age of 60. Our guest on this program today is actively involved in community activities, and all of his activities have culminated in his emergence as the state chairman of the Community Development Council here in Ogun State, the one we call CDC. Again, we are pleased to have with us on the program Chief Isaiah Olatokunbo Akinsonwon. One more time, we welcome you to the program.
Thank you. Good evening once again.
Tunde Shodeke is also on the program this afternoon. Tunde, how are you?
Well, thank you, Shannon. Good evening, and I want to welcome all our viewers once again to this fresh edition of the program Hot Seats on OGTV. I hope you'll stay tuned and enjoy our guests on this edition.
Chief Akinsonwon, going through your profile, one would say that at the time you worked with the P&T as a postal officer. At another time you took up teaching as a profession, which you actually did the later part of your active years in service, culminating in your emergence as a principal. And now you are a community leader, engaging fully in community activities. Now, the journey of life across these three spheres, which one will you say has been your preference? Which will you say you loved most all through the period?
I love being a teacher, then being a community man. I can't decide which one I love most out of those two.
But you must have preference, soft spot for either of the two.
Of course, I can say I prefer to be a community man, because that's why I remain in it. After retiring from active government service, I felt I should return something back to my community, and I enjoy doing so.
Now, if I ask you, in the Nigerian environment here, people have this belief that nothing goes for nothing, that possibly you have been actively involved in community service because you are expecting to use that as a platform to something else. Can that be so?
Far from it. One of those things that you want to do is to see you feel happy doing things for others without any thinking of any remuneration or even a word of thank you. I don't expect it. When I was in the US, I was involved in black activities in the US. I worked with people like Jesse Jackson and as a volunteer, and I enjoyed it. You see, if you do something for people, they feel happy, and you are even happier for doing it without any expectation of any reward. So I believe community service is probably the best thing anyone can involve himself in without any remuneration. Far from it, we don't get any remuneration as community development personnel. We spend our money and our time
Now, you said when you were in the United States, what,
Yes.
what years were those?
1971 till 1977.
So a period of 6 years.
6 years, yes.
Now, you worked with Jesse Jackson, which was a
Yes.
rare privilege.
Yes.
Now, the black community in the United States
Yes.
of those years,
Yes.
would you say that the spirit of community service was in any way entrenched in them?
Of course, they had to. They were on their own. They were on their own. Government was waking up to do what they call affirmative action. And so the black people, they decided to do a lot of things on their own. And it's a kind of network. So you find out that if you don't help yourself, nobody will help you. And so I think I got training from there.
Okay, will you now say, Chief Akinsonwon, that you got the inspiration that by the time you turned to Nigeria,
Yes.
you were going to go into active community service from what the experience you did?
Oh, yes. In fact, that was what brought me into teaching in the first instance. I felt teaching is a kind of community service. You see the young ones, you help them. You see how they lighten up when you show them things. And of course, though you get paid for that as a teacher.
For your means of livelihood.
For a means of livelihood. And there's contentment, nothing to worry about. I later got into part-time farming, which is now my main activity apart from community service.
Okay, in those yesteryears, when you look back, particularly in the southwest Nigeria,
Yes.
There was this communal efforts by our people. They call it Aro.
Aro or
So
way.
you put yourselves together, you go to a particular farm today, you assist such a person.
Yes.
The next day or 2 days after, you shift to another place. Now, will you say that that was what gave birth to CDAs that we have today? Because a lot of people are wary of CDAs these days. They believe that they are deviated from what's supposed to be the philosophy of these CDAs.
No, we have not deviated. It is true. I know when I was in primary school, during the holidays, we go to our village. We call that village Aragba. That was when I first got in contact with what we call Aro or Owe. They do so not only to do general community service. They will help people to build their house. They will construct roads and many other things free of charge. And it was like a festive period. The day they choose, it was kind of festive. So maybe that seed was sown during that period. And up till now, I don't feel happy if I cannot help people. And there's a lot of deprivation in our community. There is some improvement, but you need to go inside the inner part of your community to know that a lot of people need help.
Now, you're talking about deprivation existing majorly
Yes.
in rural areas of various communities in the hinterland.
It's in every community.
Okay, what can you give us a list of such that you have observed, such deprivation situations?
Well, if I give you a short story, I was sitting in front of my house one morning. A young lady, very, very pregnant, I mean heavy. She just walked into my compound. The compound, there's a kind of small fence. There's no gate. She walked in. It so happens that my woman leader was with me. We were discussing some activities about community. Early in the morning, around probably to 8, the woman walked up to us, greeted us, and said, "Please, can you help me? I have to eat." So then I said, "Where are you from?" She narrated where she's from, and of course I knew the family. So then I started asking her. Before I started asking her a question, my woman leader, Mrs. Amola Ogun, said, "Daddy, let's find something for this woman to eat first." So we gave her some money to go and buy rice not far away. She ate rice. We told her, when you finish eating, come back, we shall discuss. And she told me she was coming from a place where she wanted to go and fetch water for bricklayers. But the bricklayers, they didn't work that day. So she had to be walking home. But she is pregnant. What about your husband? He's somewhere at Agbara working. She seldom come home. She had 2 children already. So we asked a lot of questions. At the end of the day, we discovered that that woman had not registered at any clinic.
As heavy as she was.
She was.
Now, do you call that societal problem or self-inflicted situation?
It is because of the educational background. And of course, I don't think up to the present government that there's some improvement. The government has really not done enough in enforcing people to go to school. You see, lack of education engenders poverty. There's no doubt about that. If you are not educated, you are almost 95% sure you are going to be poor. So, and that is the problem. Eventually, that very day, I made sure my woman leader took her to the primary health center. It was free. I mean, so they need to pay, buy some things, and eventually she delivered of a bouncing baby boy about, say, almost a month later.
So it means she was as good as due when she even needed to go and take off such a hard labor.
I asked her, why haven't you gone to the primary health center? You've been hearing on radio it is free. Say they go to Alagbo.
So they
okay, yeah, Akinsonwon.
Yes.
With this picture that you've painted,
yes.
I want me to ask you again that you were trying to, on a side, try to castigate the government. I mean, possibly government was not doing enough then, because there were certain areas that government did not meet up expectations of the people. Could that not mean that was why a lot of CDAs now try to come in to fill the gap? That since government cannot do it alone, then as individuals, groups in a particular neighborhood, then we should come together to fill the gap, as it were.
It will be deceitful if we think any government, I mean any government, can do everything. And that is the point where the Community Development Association comes in. They can never do everything. It's impossible. Even a father and mother cannot do everything for the children, no matter how few. And so, here we are in Ogun State, for instance, with so many people, with so many things to be done. There is a lot of things that can be done. No government can fill the gap. It is the community people that can do it. And that is why it is I am very, very happy that this present government has recognized the importance of community development activities. You know what happened on the 15th? Well, it was shown on your TV. The governor came to the stadium. I was so proud. I was so proud that he came. He said a lot of beautiful things about us. We had met him about a week before then. He told us, well, he will be part of us. He is our grand patron. And he came. And he gave us a brand new bus. That is, even though it is not the bus that is important, it is the recognition. You can see how many people they've been calling me, that governor, he has done well, he has done well. Well, he has done well. But there is still a lot. You see, he has spent money in our institute, this over 50 million. Very soon we are going to recommission that place. The students there, they are now happier because it was a neglected institute.
But a school of thought believes that people that are into CDAs are only using that platform to enrich themselves, that they deviated completely from the philosophy setting up. To come together once there is a little challenge in a particular society, they ask residents of those areas to begin to contribute money, ordinarily things that are supposed to be done by government. So they see that a platform that people that occupy one position or the other see it as opposed to enrich
for
themselves.
every 12 disciples, there will be one Judas. So we cannot say that we are completely clean, but every time we discover any bad egg, that person is flushed out. And you see, the people are more enlightened now. I know you probably belong to a CDA in your area. They will probably have come to you, this electric pole has broken, we have to contribute money. Yes, you must put your mouth where your money is. Don't just give them the money and sit down at home. Go to their meetings, demand for the accounts. I mean, that is the only way to go. If you put your money somewhere and you turn your back, well, if somebody needed it more than you, the community, he can make use of it. But you should be there to see what is going on. And you should shout. There is a regulation. We are being supervised by a ministry. We have directors in charge of community. And anybody that feels cheated or has some questions to ask can easily walk into that ministry and ask for the director for community. And of course, those who are members of CDAs, they have access, telephone access to either the director or the permanent secretary. Even at the local government level, we have zonal officers representing the state ministry at the local government level. So there's no way, unless you want to keep quiet, that you can be cheated and somebody goes away with it. Like I said, you should put your mouth where your money is. If you are putting money somewhere, in fact, what I observe is that some of us who are a little bit more highly educated, we don't want to mingle with the other people. They say they want to repair a wire. We are supposed to contribute to Egba. You see, I don't want to be involved with these people. You must be involved.